Have you ever wondered how one gunshot, echoing through a quiet European street, could ignite a chain reaction that tore the world apart and claimed over 17 million lives? Today, we're uncovering one of history's most explosive turning points, the assassination that set the world on fire and unleashed the storm of World War I. Picture this. It's June 28, 1914, and you're standing on the streets of Sarajevo, watching what should have been a routine royal visit turn into the spark that would ignite a global catastrophe. The man in the crosshairs. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austro-Hungary, heir to one of Europe's most powerful empires. The shooter, a 19-year-old Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. But here's what's absolutely mind-blowing. This assassination almost didn't happen at all. Let me paint you the full picture of just how close history came to taking a completely different path. Franz Ferdinand wasn't supposed to be in that exact spot at that exact moment. In fact, the original assassination plot had already failed spectacularly just hours earlier. The Archduke had arrived in Sarajevo for what was meant to be a show of imperial strength. Bosnia had been annexed by Austria-Hungary just 6 years prior, and tensions were running incredibly high. Serbian nationalists wanted Bosnia to be part of a greater Serbian state, not under Austrian control. So when they heard the heir to the Austrian throne was coming to visit, they saw their chance. A group called the Black Hand had positioned 6 assassins along the Archduke's planned route. The first assassin, Nedeljko Kabrinović, threw a bomb at the royal motorcade. But get this, the bomb bounced off the car's folded-back hood and exploded under the vehicle behind them, injuring several officers but leaving Franz Ferdinand completely unharmed. After this terrifying incident, you'd think any reasonable person would immediately leave the city, right? Wrong. Franz Ferdinand insisted on visiting the wounded officers in the hospital. This decision would prove fatal, and here's why. His driver took a wrong turn. The royal motorcade was supposed to take a different route to avoid further danger, but the driver, unfamiliar with the change in plans, turned down the wrong street. When he realized his mistake and started to reverse the car, it stalled directly in front of a delicatessen where 19-year-old Gavrilo Princip happened to be standing. Imagine Princip's shock. Here was the target of their failed assassination plot sitting motionless in a car just 5 feet away from him. He didn't hesitate. Princip pulled out his pistol and fired 2 shots. The first bullet struck Franz Ferdinand in the neck, severing his jugular vein. The second hit his pregnant wife Sophie in the abdomen. Within minutes, both were dead. Franz Ferdinand's last words were reportedly, "Sophie, Sophie, don't die. Stay alive for our children." The irony is devastating. This man, who many historians believe could have prevented the war through his more moderate political views, was now gone, killed by someone trying to prevent Austrian dominance. But here's what makes this story even more incredible. The immediate aftermath wasn't chaos or panic. At first, many people thought this was just another regional incident. The European powers had been playing diplomatic chess for decades, managing to avoid major conflicts through careful negotiations. Nobody expected this single act to spiral into global warfare. The problem was the complex web of alliances that had formed across Europe. Austria-Hungary wanted revenge against Serbia, believing the Serbian government was behind the assassination. Russia backed Serbia as fellow Slavs. Germany supported Austria-Hungary through their alliance. France was bound to Russia, and Britain had agreements with France. It was like a house of cards waiting to collapse. Within just 39 days of those shots in Sarajevo, Europe was at war. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 28th. Russia mobilized to support Serbia. Germany declared war on Russia, then on France. When Germany invaded Belgium to attack France, Britain entered the conflict. The dominoes had fallen with terrifying speed. What's truly staggering is how this single moment changed everything. Before June 28, 1914, many people believed that modern civilization had progressed beyond large-scale warfare. The global economy was interconnected, communication was faster than ever, and rational diplomacy seemed to be winning over military aggression. Franz Ferdinand himself was actually considered a voice of moderation within the Austrian government. Historical evidence suggests he favored giving more autonomy to the empire's various ethnic groups, including the Slavs. If he had lived to become emperor, he might have implemented reforms that could have satisfied Serbian nationalist ambitions without war. Instead, his death removed a potentially stabilizing influence and handed power to more aggressive voices who saw military action as the only solution. The war that followed would destroy 4 empires, redraw the map of Europe, and set the stage for even more devastating conflicts to come. So, the next time someone tells you that individual actions don't matter in the grand scheme of history, remember Gavrilo Princip and his 2 bullets in Sarajevo. Sometimes, a single moment of chance and choice can change the entire trajectory of human civilization. That's the terrifying and fascinating truth about the shot that started World War I. It almost didn't happen, but when it did, it changed everything forever.